Talking with Jerry.
So, today's topic is Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'd like you to please subscribe. I'm getting lots of views, but I need you to subscribe. I want to thank the podcasters who have influenced me: Kevin Samuels, rest in peace; O'Shea Duke Jackson, Your World, Walter Lee Hampton, and Dr. Boyce Watkins. Shout out to those brothers. So, Jerry Jones, I wanted to wait to comment on this situation going on with him. We know the holidays were going on. A lot of people were tied up with other things, weren't keeping track of news stories. But Jerry Jones is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys football team. He has made a lot of money in oil and gas. He's worth $14 billion. But he was seen in a compromising photograph taken on September 9th, 1957, at North Little Rock High School. Jerry, at the time, was a young man. He was only 14. He was on the football team. I think he was a sophomore. A lot of people also don't know that Jerry Jones played college football as an offensive lineman and led his team as the captain to the national championship. So he's always been into football. But he was seen in this picture where black students trying to enter North Little Rock High School were being blocked by a group of angry white students because of integration. And of course, they didn't want them to go to their high school. This photo, as I said, was recently revealed. Jerry Jones is in it. And he has said innocently that he just went there to see what is going on. He didn't have any malice in his heart. He was always a rebel type of a person. The high school coach said that the students, players should not go, but he said he went anyway out of curiosity. Now, do we believe Jerry Jones? Do we know what's in his heart? Well, Jerry Jones has been caught before in some compromising photos, let's say, like this one right here. And in this photo, you could draw your own conclusions. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Jerry said he was being extorted. But then there's this photo. And, he tries to explain these things away. And there are other photos. Also, Jerry Jones is in a lawsuit that you could see here regarding a love child. And she alleges that Jerry is the father, that he paid for her college tuition, supported her over the years, gave her mother a large lump sum settlement to be quiet. And Jerry Jones said, well, I know the girl, but I don't know her mother. I don't know what he's talking about. She's talking about? Is it a Herschel Walker type situation? What do you think? So Jerry has been caught in these situations before. But like I said, we don't know what was in his heart. So here's my take. Racism in the 1950s, especially in a place like Arkansas, was rampant. But Jerry has never hired a black coach. The Rooney Rule, which requires NFL owners to interview prospective black coaches to try to level the playing field, so to speak, excuse the pun, to have black coaches in the NFL. Jerry, when there was a coaching opportunity that came up and there was a black coach that was being looked at, he didn't interview him in person. He interviewed him over the phone. And he had already made up his mind that he was going to go with someone else. And still, the Cowboys have not had a black head coach. Of course, we have the Colin Kaepernick situation, where Jerry Jones said none of his players would or better take a knee, and that if they did, they wouldn't take the field that day. Sounds kind of like Massa telling his slaves what they better not do. I mean, maybe that's an extreme, but that's the way a lot of people took it. You know, in the past, he's had a few other situations that have been brought up. But, you know, do we give Jerry Jones a pass for this? Yes, this happened a long time ago. So, you know, he's worth $14 billion. He's made a lot of money off the field. His team, which he bought, the Dallas Cowboys, for $150 million in 1989, is now probably worth $4 billion. The last NFL franchise that was just sold in August, the Denver Broncos, sold for a little north of $3.5 billion. So the Dallas Cowboys are probably worth close to $4 billion. So he's made a profit if he sold the team over those years of at least $3,850 million. That's a lot of money. And we know most of the players in the NFL and on his teams over the years have been African Americans. So, you know, Jerry has done some philanthropic things, like in this picture, and he's given money to his hometown in Arkansas, like it shows in the picture. So maybe, Jerry, in your heart, over the years, you know where you really stood. Unless someone comes forward and says, oh, I was with Jerry when this picture was taken in 1957, and this is what he was saying, and this is what his beliefs were. And then someone can say, oh, in 1960 or 1975 or 1985 or in the 1990s, these were his feelings. Only he knows that. But Jerry, perhaps what you could do is maybe go back to Arkansas and donate some money to some HBCUs. You like to build things. You've got the AT&T Stadium, which is I think a $1.2 billion football stadium, the most expensive dome stadium in the world. You could perhaps build a sports complex in Arkansas for the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, or Arkansas Baptist College, or Philander Smith College, or Shorter College. There are 4 HBCUs in your original hometown of Arkansas. And you can go back and create a scholarship and make a difference for some black students whose parents really don't have the money to send them to college. They're going into debt to attend school, and you could create a scholarship fund in your name and really do some goodwill and make a difference in people's lives. You know, some people have said, oh, you know, Jerry Jones should be canceled. Canceled how? You're not going to cancel Jerry Jones, not only because of his net worth, the companies that he owns that deal in natural resources, which we all need, just the club of friends he has. If you look at his NFL partner friends, the Ford family that owns the Detroit Lions, Woody Johnson, the heir to the Johnson & Johnson family of products that we all use, who's worth, you know, tens of billions of dollars, a company that grosses, you know, hundreds of billions of dollars every year. You know, Robert Kraft, people like the Hunt family, with the original finances of the AFL before they merged with the NFL, that still owns that family, the Kansas City Chiefs, the big oil industry barons, as well as they cornered the silver market many years ago. So it's not about canceling, but it's about those perhaps who have access to Mr. Jones saying, here's something you can do. If you did have ill will in your heart, that would be a way of coming out of this clean. So that would be my take on it. And for some of those black journalists in the media, like Stephen A. Smith and Jason Whitlock, who go on Fox News, the network that hates black people, to cover for Jerry Jones and to, you know, make this as if it were nothing. Remember, Emmett Till was killed. He was only 14 years old. Remember that there were young crowds of young men who were Jerry Jones's age at that time, who threw stones and who threw bottles at Dr. King, and civil rights marchers and people who were sitting at lunch counters. So Stephen Smith and Jason Woodlock, I wouldn't be so quick to bootlick and just throw things like this under the table. Stand up and be men for your community. You have access to people like Jerry Jones. You could be the ones who could suggest something like this that he could do. And what type of financial impact would that have to someone of his means? Very little. So that's my take on the whole matter. Please like and subscribe and keep watching. I'll always keep up with a different take on current events that will make you look at things differently, making sense out of the nonsense.